I really believe you can achieve whatever you want in this life as long as you see it in your mind before you see it in reality. What do I mean by that? We're talking about manifestation here, visualization, seeing something before it happens in your reality. Whatever you want right now, whatever success, whatever achievement that you want out of your life, you can have it as long as you see it in your mind before you see it in reality. Now, I could tell you many stories of different situations where this has been the case for me. I've become a professional footballer. In case you didn't know, my real name is Rashid Mahazi, not Lord Mahazi, if you want to fact check that on Google. I've got a successful podcast and I've got a decent amount of following now on social media, and I've only been doing it for about 18 months. Now, again, I'm not the most successful person in the world, but I have achieved a decent amount of things, and I tell you what, I've always done it through manifestation and visualization. And I truly believe that you can have whatever you want in this life as long as you can get this one part right. Right now, I'm reading a book called Outsmarting Reality by a guy named Nero Knowledge. He's got a great YouTube channel. If you want to watch him, he's fantastic. And he breaks down how manifestation works and what people are getting wrong when they're trying to manifest their desired reality. Now, I'm not going to break it down in his way, but if you want to hear his way of doing it, go to his book because it is honestly a fantastic breakdown of the specifics of manifestation. I'm going to talk about the general idea around manifestation and how you can use this to your advantage and why it logically makes sense that you need to do this before you see it in reality. Now, I'll tell you a quick story. When I was going through my junior football, I was not the star child. I wasn't picked in all the teams that you were supposed to be picked in when you're growing up. I was rejected many times. I failed many times. I went to trials at 12, too nervous, didn't perform well. Get out of here. At 13 years old, I trialed again. Get out of here. Not good enough. 14 years old, I got a little bit closer. Get out of here. Not good enough. And I didn't give up. I've got a decent amount of resilience in me, and I didn't give up. But that's not the point of this story. The main point of this story is at about 15 years old, I was watching a Jet Li movie in my lounge room. I'm sitting there, I've got my popcorn there, and I'm eating my popcorn. And I know that this is a crucial time in my life for my football, right? And I'm sitting and watching this movie. I'm thinking about the importance of my career and these years, 15, 16, 17, 18. If you're anyone that's been in sport, these are crucial years, whatever your sport. And I was still stuck in a rut and not performing as well as I could and not getting picked in the teams that I wanted to get picked in. And it only got worse from here. I'm watching this movie, and we all know what Jet Li movies are like. And all of a sudden, I think, I want to have something to eat. I'm going to have some lunch. So I walk out of the lounge room, I walk into the fridge, and I find some leftovers that my mum cooked the night before. I get the leftovers out, and I take it over to the microwave. I put the food in the microwave, and I go to close the door of the microwave. And where the microwave sits in our old house, this is not where I live now, but in our old house, was inside kind of like a cabinet. And this cabinet sat perfectly inside a brick wall, right? A brick wall that surrounds this wooden cabinet with the microwave that sits inside it. And now the door is open like this at a 90-degree angle. And I think, you know what? I'm going to kick this door closed like Jet Li. And I go to kick this door closed. Whatcha! Poof. And I kick directly into the brick wall. Barefoot. My fourth toe here opens up like this wide, and the brick wall goes in between my toes here. And it is the most worst pain I have ever felt in my whole life. And needless to say, I had done some serious damage. I went from that injury and I gone to the doctor. We got an x-ray on the foot. And the doctor says to me, son, I'm sorry, you've broken your toe. We then go to a foot specialist, a podiatrist. This guy says to me, look, Rashid, this is how it is. You've got three options. You can go as you are now, normal shoes, try to keep it open as much as possible. You will run, it will take you about 5 months to start running. You can wear a boot. That'll speed up the process of healing. And it's a bit ugly, but it will speed up the process. But that will take you about 3 months to start running. Third option is you can chop your toe off. And I swear on my life, this is a true story. He said, you can chop your toe off and you'll be playing in about 7 weeks. I don't know how in the world, I'm not a doctor, I don't know how in the world that's possible, but that's what he said to me. I looked at this guy and obviously flabbergasted that he suggested I might cut off my toe. And me and my mum said, look, let's go with the second option, right? 3 months to jog, probably about 5 to 6 months to actually start playing again. If anyone's been in sport, you know that when you start jogging, that's just the beginning of your recovery, really. You've got a long way until you're actually playing your sport again. So 3 months to jog, about 6 months to start playing again. We walked out of that podiatrist's room, got in a car with my mum, and I started crying because I knew how important this period of time was for me. I knew that if I spent 6 months on the sideline, I was going to get even further behind the rest of the people in my age group for football. And I'm crying now. I'm sitting in the front seat and I look at my mum and she knows how much I've put into my football up until this point. And she knows how upset I am. And she said, very, very matter of fact, unemotional, she said, Rashid, if you really want this, I need you to do something. I said, yeah. She said, I want you to visualize every single night your toe healing, and I want you to put a date on when you're going to come back to play. And I want you to mentally see that in your mind every single night before you go to bed and every moment through the day as much as you possibly can. I want you to see that date. I want you to visualize your bones and your blood and your body healing that area and bringing you back much faster than what that guy's just told you in there. Straight away, the emotion went away and I stopped feeling sorry for myself and I started to think about moving forward. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do what she just told me. I'm going to try to manifest a different return date for myself. I went home that night. I sit in my bed. Now remember, he said 3 months to jog, about 5 to 6 months to play. I sit in my bed. This might sound ridiculous. I promise you, there's no way to validate this, but I promise you this is a true story. I sit in my bed and I say, I want to be back playing 100% in 1 month. 1 month. Now that is a ridiculous change of times. He's gone from about 6 months to playing to me saying, I want to play in 1 month. I want to be able to play in 1 month, right? Anyways, I thought of it like this. I tried to not think about the woo-woo side of things, and I tried to think of the fact of, look, there's supposedly things that we can control with our mind and things that we cannot control with our mind. For example, we can control bending our arm, picking a ball up, kicking a ball, moving with our body in that way. We cannot control our heart rate. We cannot control our digestion. These are things that are supposedly out of our control. Our healing is supposedly out of our control. But I thought about it logically and I thought, if I can get so intertwined with my mind, so in touch with my body, my mind, and the energies that are moving through my body, how does something heal? Blood moves around it. White blood cells go to that area and they fix it, right? So I thought logically. I thought to myself, okay, I am going to visualize, I'm going to see the blood going to my toe every night and healing it. I'm going to see a date in my mind. This is part of the manifestation. I'm going to see a date in my mind. And I'm also going to see the healing process. I'm going to see my body gradually healing this toe. I'm going to send the blood there by choice, by decision. I'm going to control my body so much so that I can move my blood to move to that area to heal it faster. And every single night, I promise you, every single night I sat there 20 minutes and I saw the date in my mind. I said, 4 weeks, I'm going to be back in 4 weeks, I'm back in 4 weeks, back in 4 weeks. 4 weeks, Rashid is going to be playing. And I then visualized the blood moving to that area, healing. I saw the bone attaching back to the way it should be, straight, perfect, feeling comfortable. And weeks passed. I'll be honest, I got so entrenched in what I was doing and the healing process and saying to myself, back in 4 weeks, back in 4 weeks, 4 weeks recovery, 4 weeks recovery. I got so entrenched in that to be honest, I stopped looking at the dates, right? Anyways, we go back in for a checkup one day. Go back into the same doctor, the doctor that said to me that I can chop my toe off if I want. And we say to him, okay, can we probably recheck it because, you know, there's some discomfort there, but it is feeling a bit better. And He said, "Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Let's X-ray it again. Let's get a better idea of what's going on there because I'm not 100% confident that, what was there before is still there. Let's have a look at it. Let's see how it's moving. Is it healing in the right ways?" So we do this X-ray. He gets the X-rays and he picks them up and he puts them on the wall. I'll never forget this. He puts them up on the wall. He's standing over there. I'm sitting here. My mum's sitting there. And he's looking at these X-rays. And as he's looking at them, he starts to kind of turn his head sideways. And he's like making these weird noises. You know when you want someone to speak because he's going like, hmm. And I'm like, just say something. Why are you saying that? My whole life, my whole career is riding on this observation that you're looking at and you're going, give me some feedback of what do you see? And he turns around, he goes, "Guys, I'm so sorry to tell you this." And I'm thinking, oh no, he's going to give me a worse diagnosis and I'm going to be out longer. He says, "I've completely misread these X-rays the first time. I thought that your toe was broken, but actually when I look at it properly now, it actually seems like it was maybe broken a couple years ago. And then this kick has obviously given you pain in that area, but it's completely together. That bone is not broken. It's just healed in a bent way. So I don't know when you broke this, but it's just a healed break. And so you can actually go back to playing right now, straight away." And I can't explain to you how I wasn't even happy at that time. I was just so out of my mind of what is going on. How this guy's an idiot. What's going on? I couldn't think. I could not think straight. I look at my mum. I kind of smile. She hugs me. "Oh, it's great. I can go back to playing." Great. We thank the doctor. We walk out of the doctor's room. We go and sit in the car. And I didn't even realize it. She goes, "Rashid, what did you say to yourself? What was your date that you wanted to play again? What was your timeline?" I said, "A month, 4 weeks." And you know what you're like when you're a kid. I'm 15 years old. I don't keep a diary. I don't know when anything is. I'm completely disorganized. But she keeps a diary. She opens up her diary and she moves the pages back. And I promise you, on my life, on her life, on anything, I promise you, 4 weeks to the day. I'm getting goosebumps just even saying this story. 4 weeks to the day. The exact day, 4 weeks later, I can go back to 100% playing. I remember having this feeling inside my chest. I didn't cry, but I remember having this feeling inside my chest of power, of like, I can make whatever I want happen. I am in control of my destiny. And that's not about me, my ego, but that's about there's a higher power within me that if I can harness that energy and I can manifest and get my brain and my body on the same page as that spirit inside me, I can push destiny to reveal to me what is seen inside. What is seen inside here, I can get the reality to show me that. And that's the first time I had an experience with manifestation. It's probably the most powerful because of the specifics of the date. But I could tell you 10, 15, 20 more stories throughout my footballing career or throughout my love life or throughout my friendship life or throughout my anything. I could tell you. I said to myself, I want to have X amount of followers in X amount of time. I had it. I want to do this amount of numbers of podcast views by this amount of time. I've done it. Of course, it doesn't happen every time, but I tell you what it does come down to. It comes down to how specific are you with the goal that you want to do? And what I call a SMURT goal, this is, for me, I think is the best way to do it. You've probably heard in school SMART goals, and that's specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. I've changed that to specific, measurable, unrealistic, relevant, and time-based. Specific, basically what you want. You want a number. You don't want to say, oh, I want to get fit. You want to have a specific time that you want to run. You want to have a specific weight that you want to have. You want to have a specific body fat percentage that you want to have. You want to have a specific dollar amount that you want to have. You want to be very specific with your goal. If you have to put a picture up on the wall, write it on the wall. Write it down in your diary. Put it on your home screen on your phone. Be very, very, very specific. The more specific that you can be, the more likely you are going to achieve. The more specific you can be, the more likely you are going to achieve. Make it time-based. Do not say, I want to become fit and I want to lose 5 kilograms. Make it time-based. I want to lose 5 kilograms in X amount of months. Whatever it is to you, it's your goal. I'm not going to tell you what your goal should be. I want to make $100,000. I want $100,000 in my savings account in 5 months. And remember, not attainable. We don't want a SMART goal that is attainable. We want your mind to open up to what is unrealistic. We don't want to shave off. When the doctors told me I'm coming back in 6 months, we don't want to shave off 1 month. No, my friends. We want to shave off 5 months from that diagnosis. Be unrealistic. And I promise you, you will see how powerful you are and the spirit inside you is if you create a ridiculous goal for yourself, but you make it specific. And then every single night and every single day, you envision it in your mind. You see what you want and you play it over in your head of how you're going to get it and where it's going to come. And most of all, how you're going to feel when you get it. Because at the end of the day, you do not want what you're trying to attain. You want the feelings that you think you're going to get when you attain it. Give yourself those feelings now. Set your energy in motion now to align with the reality that you want. Do not wait for that to come, because that will never come if your energy is not right. Get your emotions in line with the goal that you want to get to. That is the most important second part. Having conviction and having emotion attached to that conviction of what you're going to get. Be very specific, time-based goal. Not random, not, at some point I want to be, at some point I want to, finish a marathon. No. I want to finish a marathon with this time, and I want to do it in 6 months, and I'm going to run it at Albert Park in Melbourne. And I'm going to wear these shoes, and I'm going to wear these shorts, and I'm going to train like this. Be specific with what you want. And then once you have that specific goal, add that into your manifestation that you visualize every single night. Visualize how you're going to get it. And of course, you got to train. Don't stop there. You need to do the work as well. Don't think you're just going to sit at home and visualize and manifest and things are just going to fall into your lap. You obviously got to train. You're not going to be able to run a marathon without training, because I tell you what, being able to make yourself deserve what you want is going to be equally as important for the outcome, because of the effect it has on your conviction. What do I mean by that? Because that's an important point. I'm going to finish it off with that point. If you want to run a marathon, let's say you want to run a marathon, and you need to manifest and visualize running a marathon and achieving that goal. And you're going to visualize and manifest the feelings that you're going to get when you do that. The most important thing is the emotion, but the conviction. The conviction you have behind the fact that you know that is going to happen. You don't think that maybe it will and it's a possibility. No, you know it's going to happen. So you put a conviction in that that's going to happen. It's going to be very, 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 very hard, almost impossible to have a conviction that an outcome is going to happen without you showing yourself that you deserve it because of your behaviors. So make sure that your work or the behaviors that you're doing are matching what would, in your mind, mean someone deserves what you want. I'll leave it there. I love you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Lord Mahazi.